In my dreams, I walk free in the city streets. 2,500 days plus 50 weeks. Doing hard time for these WikiLeaks. Trying to bring the truth out, man, it only gets you weak. And then they gag you. You don't get to speak. And when you get the leak, they try to hit the leak. The masses of the masses, they want this shit to street. That's why my middle finger's up to these sick elites. Play on the regular. You keep the messenger. Free speech is the freedom of press. Take your deepest, darkest secrets, never leave them unsaid. If I'm a thief, then I'm a thief for the people you dread. The people want the red, while the blue you keep them in bed. Seeking the sheep, keep them asleep, deceiving the weak. Keep seeking the leech till you cease, and I see your defeat. Until I'm deceased underneath a freezer red sheet.
I hope you're all dancing. Hi, Anne.
Outside my window, a figure quickly creeps. They dark as night like some motherfucking chimney sweeps. Whiskey what my Mickey keeps, dying in my kidneys weak. Silence of my risky tweets, what the grand jury seeks. I'm wanting peace, like 7 years in Tibet. Now rest in peace, like 7 years under threat. Cause I released 7 vaults, they upset. They ended the rape sentence, but the US still insists arrest. I guess it's a sin to take the truth and disseminate. MLK to Gandhi, take him and eliminate. And I don't say I'm great, just wanna say what's fake. But if they kill me, a million others will take my place. The CIA's post like a knife the sharpest. All hypocrisy, lies, and heartless. They want to stop me, my life, make my heart quit. Cause democracy dies in the darkness. Cause democracy dies in the darkness. You kill the messenger. You kill the messenger. Democracy dies in the darkness.
Hi everyone, I'm having a bit of fun today, as you can see. Yeah, what a great tune that is. That is "Kill the Messenger" by James Gets It, the SEVAUX remix. Absolutely brilliant tune. Yeah, hi everyone. I want to go. I want to give you some full disclosure on this live stream, because I wasn't going to do this video, and there's a reason I wasn't going to do it. It's actually, doing this video breaks one of the rules that I made after the 3rd video that I did on this channel. I'll explain later. However, I do think I can now break it, and I think, yeah, I can break it, and hell, why not break it with this video, because it's an important one, because this guy's going a bit nuts. He really is. He's going a bit crazy. Let me just close that. So it's going to be a bit different, this stream, isn't it? I haven't got anything planned. I've literally just read an article, and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to talk, because obviously I know a lot about this subject. Actually, I need to open that again, because I need that. But you've probably seen it by now if you're a regular listener of this show, or you keep up to date with what's going on with them, because Cenk Uygur, who is the founder of TYT, ever since 2016, most progressives will tell you, most people who call themselves progressive, who no longer watch TYT or you know, support the likes of Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard, or watch my show and he's up with politics over there, we'll say that he's gone off the rails since the 2016 election. Some would say before. But this is just something that he tweeted out recently. They'll give you some idea as to the sort of craziness that he's doing at the moment, because he tweeted this out. Trump just changed policy on Venezuela, and he's reportedly frustrated with Bolton that he is being too militaristic. That's news to Trump. While I agree that with the new policy, it comes right after a call with Putin, direct evidence that he is literally taking orders from Putin. And no doubt, you know, he's going to say, hey, you know, what he needs to do is get more hawkish with Putin and attack him from the right. which is what he's been doing, essentially. He's been hawkish with Trump, attacking him from the right on Putin, and basically saying for 2 years that he is Putin's puppet. And he's been absolutely wrong on Russiagate all along. He keeps saying that no, he wasn't wrong on Russia, when we've showed him the evidence of, yes, you were. Here's you being wrong. Here's you saying something wrong. Here's you saying something about Michael Tracy, your ex-employer, wrong, proven wrong. And he just, instead of admitted it and saying he was wrong all along, he has literally done what Rachel Maddow has done, and that is not take any responsibility for what they have done in red baiting and this Russia scare for the last 2 or 3 years, and just flown right on and just said, hey, I'm not accepting responsibility. Black is white, white is black, screw you, I'm plowing on regardless. His reporting on a few things has been terrible over the last few years. Now, we'll get to that after I talk about the story I want to talk about, because the story I want to talk about was actually tweeted out by my favourite writer, Caitlin Johnson. She really is my favourite writer. And I'm not just talking political writer, I mean writer. She's wonderful. I introduced my girlfriend to her a few weeks ago. My girlfriend just loves her as well now. But the title of this video comes directly from the title of her article on this. Cenk Uygur keeps trying to out-Maddow. He keeps fighting to keep his idiotic Russia conspiracy theory alive, and in doing so keeps exposing himself for the toxic, ambitious manipulator that he is. If you haven't read Caitlin Johnson before, honestly, I've said this before, I think. Please make sure you read at least one article of hers a week. She's prolific. She writes articles almost every day. Make sure you read just one a day, please. She's wonderful. She really is. You won't regret it. Starts off this. A new Washington Post article titled "A Frustrated Trump Questions His Administration's Venezuela Strategy" has got people all across the political spectrum barking at shadows, and it doesn't seem like any of them have actually read it. Now, there's a reason why I'm actually reading this, by the way. I haven't read anything of Caitlin Johnson since I actually started this channel, which is amazing. But she's got, as usual, she's spot on with this. So I thought, rather than me plan something out, I'll just introduce you to her writing if you haven't read it before. The opening paragraphs of the anonymously sourced article. Remember, this is again an anonymously sourced article in the Washington Post. People like me say, always question articles if they are anonymously sourced. Always question. And if they are anonymously sourced, make sure you make a point of saying that when you report them. This is something that I've learned over time. It's a journalistic, it becomes journalistic second nature to you, just to safeguard yourself more than anything else from being wrong. But hey, they carry on with these anonymously sourced articles. And say there's tension between the president and the National Security Advisor, John Bolton, about the administration's humiliating April the 30th failed coup attempt in Venezuela. And if you read only those, it looks like very significant news story. The president's dissatisfaction has crystallized around National Security Advisor John Bolton and what Trump has groused as an interventionist stance at odds with his view that the United States should stay out of foreign quagmires. The report reads, Trump has said in recent days that Bolton wants to get him into war, a comment that he has made in jest in the past, but now belies his more serious concerns. What senior administration official said. So that's part from this Washington Post, unanimously sourced article. Trump supporters and other hopeful right-wing anti-interventionists have seized on these paragraphs in the hope that Trump is scaling back his escalations in Venezuela and moving towards firing his bloodthirsty national security advisor. Liberals and some self-proclaimed progressives are seizing on this same article as proof that Trump is bought and owned by Vladimir Putin. They're both wrong. More on that in a minute. And then she quotes this tweet that Cenk tweeted out that I mentioned at the beginning. While I agree with the new policy, it comes right after a call with Putin. This is Cenk Uygur. This is what he tweeted out. Trump just changed policy on Venezuela and is reportedly frustrated with Bolton that he is being too militaristic. That's news to Trump. While I agree with the new policy, it comes right after a call with Putin. Direct evidence that he is literally taking orders from Putin. Let me just read that again. This is Cenk Uygur, right? This is Cenk Uygur, the man who wrote the book on being a YouTuber. He's got a history of, you know, really trying to get his facts straight on everything. Just look at what he's tweeted out here. Just based on, you know, the top bit of the Washington Post article that Caitlin wrote about there. He said Trump just changed policy on Venezuela and is reportedly frustrated with Bolton that he is being too militaristic. That's news to Trump. While I agree with the new policy, it comes right after a call with Putin. Direct evidence that he is literally taking orders from Putin. Direct evidence, he says. It's not. And second of all, Trump isn't changing policy on Venezuela. In a new video entitled "Told Ya, Trump Changes Venezuela Policy After Putin Call," says Caitlin, Cenk Uygur, a creator of the popular Young Turks platform, told his 4.3 million YouTube subscribers that his Washington Post article proves Trump has reversed his administration's stance on Venezuela and that he has done so because of his controversial phone call with Putin just a few days earlier. Uygur claims that the report vindicates his previous Russiagate conspiracy mongering because it proves that Trump takes orders from the Russian president. This is what he's been saying all along. This is what him and Maddow have been saying all along. Trump is beholden to Putin. How many times have I heard him say, "He did it! Of course!" Quote, now it's not just saying positive things about Putin and Russia and saying preposterous things about how they're not involved in Venezuela. He has now actually changed the policy, Uygur said. Washington Post with a story that just came out a while ago saying, yes, Trump now thinks that Bolton was too militaristic and he was going to get them into a quagmire and he is not in favour of a military option anymore. His stance on the military option, correct me if I'm wrong with Trump's stance has always been this: nothing is off the table. He said that 18 months ago, 2 years ago. I remember doing a video on it a year ago. It was one of my first videos. Quote, if you think, this is what he said, if you think that's not related to the call he just had with Putin, who told him what to do, well, come on. Then there's nothing I can tell you because I can give you all the evidence in the world and you're never ever going to listen because you're too biased. This is gaslighting. I'll try and get through this just to explain exactly, you know, why he's an idiot or a paid one or a useful one. He's one of the two. Evidence, facts. I know they're inconvenient sometimes for folks, but that is the reality. He hasn't looked at evidence or facts with regards to this for the last 3 fucking years. I'm sorry. He just hasn't looked at them. Anything that has gone against his mad cow conspiracy theory that Trump is in Putin's pocket, anything that has gone against that, it's just not reported on it. He's not reported on it. And what is the way you can spot a conspiracy theory? I know. It's because they never actually look at evidence that contradicts what they're saying is true. They don't even look to try and debunk it. They just don't look at it. That's exactly what his reporting has been for the last 3 years. I'll continue. So, evidence, facts. I know they're inconvenient sometimes for folks, but that is the reality. I'll try and do it in his voice from now on. Uygur concluded his 7-minute video. Good night and good luck. Evidence, facts, Caitlin says. You might think that someone so interested in evidence and facts might be bothered to read the report that he is citing as proof of his conspiracy theory that apparently will never, ever, ever, ever die if you shoot it with a bazooka and drop it into a vat of molten steel like Terminator. If you think that, though, you haven't been paying attention to Cenk Uygur's career. This is the Washington Post article. She's highlighted the bits in these paragraphs. Just remember what Cenk has said there. Remember what he's tweeted out. Trump has just changed policy on Venezuela. He said that in the tweet. He then said it in the video. He then said, evidence, facts, come on, he's changed policy on Venezuela. This is from the article. The administration's policy is officially unchanged in the wake of a fizzled power play. That was from paragraph 4. Paragraph 12 reads, despite Trump's grumbling that Bolton had got him out on a limb on Venezuela, Bolton's job is safe, two administration officials said, and Trump has told the National Security Advisor to keep focusing on Venezuela. Page 39. Officials said the options under discussion while Maduro is still in power include sending additional military assets to the region. More forward-leaning options include sending naval ships to waters off Venezuela in a show of force. The own article, the very article that Cenk Uygur was citing as evidence that, hey, I'm right, you're wrong, proves he's wrong. His own article that he points to say that Trump has changed policy, look, says specifically he hasn't changed policy and he's still being militaristic. She continues, so according to the same report that Uygur is basing videos and tweet after tweet after tweet on, Trump is keeping Bolton and keeping existing Venezuela policies and is currently exploring military options to get Maduro out of power. Told ya! What happened to the portion of the left, he tweeted, that no longer believes in evidence and facts? I don't know. Maybe they got $20 million from the Democratic Kingmaker. What do you say, Cenk? Come on, I'm not a comedian, but Jimmy Dore would be fucking proud of that. Well, maybe not, because Cenk's his friend, but you get the point. Trump gets a call from Putin and then does a complete reversal of his position in Venezuela. There wasn't a reversal. The article that you cited said specifically there wasn't a reversal. By the way, the article, unsourced. That's who he's using as proof. The article itself, totally, anonymously sourced. He's citing that as proof and anonymously sourced. What's he going to do next? Cite the Guardian article on the Manafort meeting with Assange as proof that Manafort went with Assange? That's not how it works, dumbass. To the benefit of Russia. And you don't think that's evidence, your bias is blinding. Your bias is blinding. That's gaslighting at an extremely high level, isn't it? Furthermore, Trump was openly expressing his reluctance to engage in direct military confrontation in Venezuela before his phone call with Putin. On a Fox News interview with Trish Regan in the wake of the coup attempt, Trump said he doesn't even like to mention direct warfare, dodged around Reagan's attempts to get him to address the issue of war directly, and emphasized that there are many other options on the table. We're doing everything we can do short of, the ultimate, Trump said. There are people out there that would like to have us do the ultimate. Well, here we are. We have a lot of options open. That's the stance he's had all along. Ever since I can remember, Trump's stance is all options are open. Uygur has absolutely no basis for the latest excuse he's using to continue fanning the flames of Russia hysteria among his millions of followers, but he's doing it anyway. Today he's telling American progressives that their president is being puppeted by Putin into taking a weak stance of Venezuela when they should already have been fighting this administration's civilian-killing Venezuela hawkishness, both tooth and claw. Before that, he was telling his audience that it's possible to focus on Russiagate while also advancing a progressive agenda. Spoiler alert, it isn't. It's not. As Caitlin has wrote extensively about, it sucks all the air out of the room and there's no time to talk about anything else. Just look at their own goddamn reporting at TYT for the last 2 years. For proof of it. Every second video was Trump. And the one in between was, this person said this about Trump. Before that, he was telling them that Trump's failure to further escalate nuclear tensions with Russia is proof that he's Putin's puppet. And before that, he was smearing Michael Tracy, his own staff member at the time, on air for being sceptical of the now debunked collusion narrative. Absolutely, Caitlin. This would be the same Trump who has espoused a nuclear posture review with a much more aggressive nuclear stance towards Russia. Obviously, this flies in the face of your theory. Cenk, you know, facts, evidence, but hey. Who is creating appallingly dangerous, low-yield, usable nuclear weapons for the battlefield, who is arming Ukraine, who is staging a coup in Venezuela, who has bombed Syria, who is sabotaging Russian fossil fuel interests in Germany, who has expanded NATO and security for more funding, and taken many, many other actions which harm Russian interests in a continually escalating new Cold War which threatens the life of every organism on the planet. This is what Uygur is telling his millions of followers to push further into opposition to Moscow. Cenk's done lots of videos about Alex Jones and how dangerous Alex Jones is. Cenk, you're far more fucking dangerous. You know why? Far more people take you seriously. Just think about that. Gaslighting his own audience. I try not to spend energy attacking well-meaning progressives with whom I agree on many issues, here, me too, even if they're completely asleep at the wheel in many areas. Bernie Sanders, foreign policy, to name one. But at this point it's as plain as day that Cenk Uygur is just as much a toxic influencer as the liberal pundits of the mainstream media who work to herd their audience into supporting establishment interests which do not serve them. He pretends to oppose war and pays lip service to opposing interventionism in Venezuela and elsewhere, but he's spouting hawkish propaganda narratives the entire time while doing so. The man is extremely ambitious and he's clearly gunning for acceptance within mainstream liberalism, which is why he keeps finding new and innovative ways to out-Maddow Rachel Maddow. Keep him at arm's length. Well said. Well said, Caitlin Johnson. She's great. I used to have so much respect for Cenk Uygur. And I know many of you out there would as well. Let me just take a drink. And like I say, I wasn't going to do this video because it breaks a rule of mine. And it's a rule I made after my third video, which sort of went viral, which was about TYT. Now, I'll explain that rule in a minute, but I used to have so much respect for him. And the reason is, after the 2016 election, I realised I had to get involved because things were messed up. And it was sort of after the referendum in 2016 that that happened, because I knew what was going to happen with the referendum before it happened, and I realised back then just how much of a big deal it was. And I've been right about it ever since. I was right about it before the referendum. My viewpoint hasn't changed, and the reason is because I pay attention to things. When Trump was elected in 2016, I realised obviously something was far more wrong with the mainstream media than I had realised. I always knew the media was fake. I always knew it was bullshit. I never really paid much attention to politics, although I gave it lip service. But I didn't vote. I checked out the whole thing. After 2016 and after Trump being elected and after Brexit, I realised I've got to get involved. I've got to understand what's going on. I typed into Google independent news online. What is the best independent online news network? And through my searches on Google, because I realised that MSNBC and CNN was so fake and so dangerous, and I didn't realise I didn't know why Trump had been elected, but I knew that whatever they were telling me the reason was, it was wrong. I found the Young Turks because they were the biggest online network, and I found Cenk Uygur. And within a day, maybe two, of watching Cenk Uygur's videos on the Young Turks, I basically figured out more about America in 2 days than I had done in 20 years of watching CNN and MSNBC. And I realised exactly what was the matter with America. Well, not exactly, but I had a fair idea. And through Cenk Uygur, I found other people's channels on YouTube, people like Carl Kalinske, people like Jimmy Dore, people like Mike Figueredo, and others too. Some have gone by the wayside and have gone down the corporate angle, and that's a shame. But you know what? I know it's tough. I know this industry is tough. I know. There's never been a better time to be a journalist and never been a worse time to get paid, and I know it. I suffer every single month, but I do it because I love it. I know other people do it because they love it too, and they feel that it's a duty. And that's how much I feel about this, and I felt that about Cenk Uygur when I first saw him. He was inspirational. Now, because I found Cenk Uygur, etc., and I knew a lot about websites, I started my own websites. Now, the websites aren't around now. I was trying to use my own, internet marketing skills back then but I never really, they never really got off the ground. I was trying them for around 2 years, maybe 18 months, something like that. But eventually I started doing this channel. And the reason was I was writing a book, How Russiagate Was Nonsense, which, by the way, I got exactly right and Cenk got exactly wrong. But then he'll say, no, I got it wrong and he was exactly right, when you just have to look at, the facts and evidence. I started this channel. And the third video I did last year was about TYT. And it went viral and it got nearly 100,000 views. And I'd done another video in between that where Cenk had debated Carl Kalinske and lost miserably. But to be fair to him, he's never shy of coming forward when it's time to get humiliated. Cenk Uygur, he doesn't mind. He really doesn't mind sticking his head in the trap and his hands in the stocks. But my third video about him went viral, and when it did, I saw something happen. I saw people were making videos about my video, and then other people were making videos about their videos. And basically what they were doing was just searching for clicks. That's all they were doing. They were just searching for clicks. And I took about 10 days off. Seriously, I took about 10 days off before I did another video, because I actually thought, do I want to do this? Because honestly, I thought, oh, maybe I could do 20 videos and talk about Russiagate, and hopefully I'll sell some books that I was writing, some of my Russiagate book on Amazon. That's honestly my feeling when I did the first 2-3 videos. But then it went viral, and this, I got 1,200, 1,500 subscribers overnight. And all of a sudden it's like, well, if I'm going to do this, okay, let's take it serious. Because up to that point, I was basically pissed and high every single video. And you know what? There's been a few since that I've been the same way. I don't, I may take this seriously, but I'm going to have some fun with it along the way. But I wrote down a list of rules, and sort of like Gibbs rules. I've invoked Leroy Jethro Gibbs a few times on this channel. He's one of my favourite characters. It's a terrible TV show, but he's one of my favourite characters from NCIS. And he's got this list of rules that he lives by, his life by. And so I have rules that I cannot break with this channel. One of them, rule number 8, is never, ever, ever do a video just for the clicks. And number 12 is don't be a YouTuber who talks about other YouTubers. For instance, when the whole issue between David Pakman and Jimmy Dore came up, other people did videos about that, got 60, 70, 80,000 more views, some of them. I never did one. When Jimmy left TYT, I never did one about that. I never did one about the David Pakman issue with other things and him going off the rails. I never do the videos about Jordan Chariton and his stuff, I didn't want to be a YouTuber talking about other YouTubers, which it sort of stopped me talking about Cenk Uygur ever since. And I would only pick on something if it was really just proving a point of mine. And the point, obviously, in the videos that I've only done a couple of videos on the Young Turks since, it was always about Russia and how they're just wrong on Russia, and also wrong on Assange, and basically wrong on the big stories. That he's wrong in a way that absolutely keeps him in lockstep with the Democratic National Committee. After taking $20 million from Jeffrey Katzenberg, the Democratic kingmaker, and all the investors from that he knows that came in. Now, he said in his videos since then that judge me on my content. Well, you know what? People are judging him left, right, and centre, and 7 ways from Sunday on his content since, and there's no doubt that their reporting at TYT on certain issues on Venezuela, for instance, has been awful. On Julian Assange has been awful. On WikiLeaks has been awful. Two of those things, by the way, it was pro them before 2016, before they hitched their wagon to the DNC after Bernie was cheated. And then, you know, slagged people off who had the gall to vote third party because they couldn't stomach voting for Hillary Clinton. Honestly, I could. And who could shame somebody who didn't? Surely if somebody says, I couldn't vote for Clinton, surely the first thing you say is, Christ, I know, I feel you. I puked when I pulled the card. Honestly, I puked. Yeah, surely you can have that conversation. But no, they do the DNC thing and smear and slander and point and accuse. And, you know, then since you've got Anna Kasparian, who has been doing friendly, fuzzy interviews with Madeleine Albright, and I think Neera Tanden she did one with as well. It's, as I said in this tweet, Cenk Uygur calls TYT the home of the progressives. In the UK, he'd be prosecuted under the Trades Descriptions Act for fraudulent advertising. They're not the home of the progressives, as Caitlin says in her article. Keep him at arm's length. Don't trust what he says. Just don't trust it. He's lying to you. He's not that bad of a journalist. He's not that bad of a reporter. He's not that pig-headed. You know? My girlfriend's of Turkish heritage, actually. Her father's Turkish. She you know, she tells me all about some, you know, the stereotypical Turkish man, and how, you know, one of the words that keeps getting mentioned over and over is arrogance. No, that's not me saying that. That's actually Turkish people saying it, you know, not me. Don't shoot the messenger. But that's what it is. It's, you know, there's pig-headedness and there's arrogance, but then there's, okay, there's something obviously wrong here. Because nobody can tell me that Cenk Uygur is that bad of a journalist. Nobody can tell me he's that bad of a person. Nobody can tell me that he's that arrogant. You know, whatever the most arrogant nation on earth is, he's probably English, actually, when I think about that. He's probably English. I think Englishmen would be the most arrogant. You just wouldn't know that we would be arrogant because we were being that sarcastic. It flew over your head at the same time. But you see my point. Nobody's that arrogant. Nobody's that misinformed. Certainly not in the journalism industry. And certainly not Cenk Uygur, a man who I respected immensely. Somebody who inspired me to do this. And now it's like I said in that video. It's like I said at the start of the video. I had a rule. One of the rules was, don't be a YouTuber talking about other YouTubers. I'm okay to talk about you, Cenk Uygur, now. It's alright. Because he's not a YouTuber. He's an establishment hack. And he's fucking lying to you. Keep him at arm's length. Hi everybody, I'm going to dive into the chat and talk to you all, because I haven't talked to you all and took your questions for quite a few weeks because I've been so busy. Let me just open up this chat actually. Whew, long day. Long day. Hello, Ellen. You want to come and say hello? 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 Oh, ooh, long day. Yeah. Right. Pop out chat. Yes, I know. But I'm live at the moment. Can you go and sit down, please? Go and lie down. Go and lie down. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Right, I'll scroll up a little bit. If you've got any questions, ask me, everyone. I'm going to be here for a few minutes if you want. Because I haven't taken you any questions for a while and I'm feeling good today. Although I'm drinking some crappy energy drink. Leaves a lane open for you, says Auntie War. Yeah, it does. It does. It's so disappointing, it really is. It really is, it's disappointing. It's, you know, I was so angry last year. I was so angry, and you know, that anger sort of turned into pity and turned into despair, and then, you know, now it's getting to the stage where it's like apathy. But you know, there was still people I know who come to my Twitter and defend him. You know, there were people today that, as I was tweeting out about this, were defending him, saying what's bad about attacking Trump. That was one of the things that people were saying. I don't see what's so progressive about attacking Trump. That was one of the replies to me. Do you not forget the attacking Trump bit? Do you not see everything else? Him attacking Trump is literally the only thing you can say good about what he's doing there. That's it. Stop watching TYT 2 years ago, says Oz Whistles. I think me was, it's probably, put it this way, I took down my video, my third video. I actually took it down after about a week, I think, because their reporting at TYT after I did that video was immaculate. The Monday, they did a video on the Monday after my video went viral, and people at the Young Turks saw it. I know this. And it was almost like their Monday show was written for me. Honestly, it was almost like Anna and whatever were talking to the screen. Anna and Cenk, by the way, it's almost at the moment, it's almost like they're taking it in turns to play the fool. Just Tulsi last time. Now it's, you know, it was Cenk before that. Then it was Anna with Tulsi. Then now it's Cenk. Anna's going to say something, say the next stupid thing that falls right in line with the DNC. You watch. She'll say, the next person to say something stupid on TYT will be Anna, and whatever she says will be in lockstep with whatever the establishment DNC want, which just happens to be whatever the neocons in Trump's administration want as well. It's just, honestly, it's fucking astounding. It really, I see it over here all the time with people. They get money, and then all of a sudden they go to shit. Thank you for this video, Gordon, says Anthony Reyes. I didn't want to do it, mate. I feel terrible that I have to do it, but I do feel I have to do it. TYT's ratings are going downhill, sloping steep, says Scott Seekins. Yeah, their subscribers are going up. They've got like 4.3 million now, but they get less videos now than they did, and it's been going down for quite a while. It's been going gradually down. If you go to and check on their statistics, it really is dropping now. And what I don't know is if those statistics actually include the app, the TYT app. So it might their views might be higher than what that shows, but there's 20 million reasons for him not to be that bothered about it, you know? Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Scott Seekins. Wow, Gordon, there are about 10 people on the chat doing their own conversation, says Lawrence Taylor. Great. Chat away, guys. Like the stream. Please like the stream to you know, if you like my videos, and share them as well. It really does help. We need all the help we can get. Unlike Cenk Uygur, who doesn't tell you the truth on Russia, who doesn't tell you the truth on Venezuela, who doesn't tell you the truth about Trump. I haven't got 20 million quid in the bank. You know, I've already got 20 quid in the bank, if truth be told, and I need your help. So, and if you want people, if you want independent media to tell you the truth, honestly, please support us. Even if it's $1, $2 a month, it's like $12, $24 a year. It really means, and I do not ever want to put my stuff behind a paywall. I just don't. I want to give everything away for free. I see absolutely no reason why somebody who is poor, who's got no money, can't see my stuff. I don't know. I don't want that. I've been poor. I have had no money. I've wanted to see stuff, so I had to illegally download it. You know, there are people out there who don't know how to do that, and I see no reason why I should stop them watching stuff that they want to see of mine just because they haven't got any money. But at the same time, I really do need your help, and so does independent media. So please support us. Ellie, what are you doing? Come away from there. Come on. Come away. Go and lie down. I think she saw a fox. Stephen Davis says there are masses of things that they can use to attack Trump. The Russiagate drama crap is just helping him. Stephen, you're absolutely right. Just yesterday, I found out that Trump had pardoned a murderer. Now, I dare say he covered that, actually, because he would have been attacking Trump. But that's something that you really could concentrate on rather than Russiagate stuff. This is attacking a murderer who literally took an Iraqi innocent man, soldier out, stripped him naked and tortured him and then shot him in the back of the head and chest. In the head and chest. Literally did that. And he was sent to prison when he came home here. And Trump has pardoned him. You know? And they're attacking him now over his finances and over, you know, he's saying, oh my God, he got all this money from Russia. Jesus Christ. If only we knew about that 3 years ago. If only we knew about that 10 years ago. If only we knew. If only he and his son had come out repeatedly and said, yeah, we get all our money from Russia now. They've all said it over and over. We get our money from Russia because none of the banks in the US will touch us because I lost a shitload of money back in the 80s and 90s. They've all said it over and over. Trump has said it over and over. I see it's bad, the amount of losses that Trump has had. I mean, that is something you could attack him on. Really, you could attack him on that. Forget the ties to Russia. Attack Trump on that. Attack him on pardoning a murderer, by the way, and a war criminal. First of all, attack him on his ties to Saudi Arabia and Israel, but that's another thing. There are so many different things you can go after him on. Between I think it was 85 and 92, and those 7-year period, in that 7-year period, between 85 and 92, I think it was, Trump lost over $1 billion. For every $100 in those years that was down on a loss at the income tax people firm of America, for every dollar that was down as a loss, 2 cents of that was Donald Trump's. One man had 2% of all the losses of all the companies in America that had filed in those 7 years. 2%! You could really attack him on that. But no, what do? They say, oh, we got his money from Russia afterwards, therefore he must be beholden to Trump. He must be beholden to Putin. No, you idiots! He's a con man and he's a criminal. And he's a shyster. And he's a financial, con artist. He's all the things that we've been saying he's all along. But, you know, they just go after the Rush angle. Why? Because that's what the DNC want. Come on. It's what the DNC want. And that's why TYT do what they do. It's what the DNC want. That's what $20 million bought. $20 million bought the DNC their narrative on TYT. Is that all? 20 million? Jesus. Pam Ryan, hi Pam, says, Gordon, do you think the present siege of the Venezuelan embassy on US soil is without precedent in its establishment brazenness? Yeah, it is, Pam. For those of you who don't know, they're trying to install pro-Guaido people in the Venezuelan embassy in Washington, D.C. And there were some people who have said, no, we don't want you to do that. And they've gone in there at the, you know, the Ecuadorians have said, okay, come in, help us. And they're barricading them in there. And now the police have even turned off the power. They're stopping food getting in there and all that sort of thing. It's brazen, what they're doing. It's brazen. But it's still not a coup. If you listen to the media, it's anything but a coup. No. This isn't a coup. This is a popular uprising. Yeah, it is absolutely without precedent in its establishment brazenness. Ooh, just skipped on me massively, so I missed a load of comments. Apologies. I just got down to everybody saying they love my dog. She is as cute as hell. Captain Obvious says that's the real lie. Cenk is telling everyone about Russiagate. Cenk claims he is open to facts counter to Russiagate narrative, but he's only open to acknowledging those facts exist. Yeah, and it's not just that. It's I haven't seen anybody really go after him. Really, you know, I'd love a debate with him. I really would, because I'd tear him to fucking pieces. Can you imagine me badgering him on why he quoted the Luke Harding article about the meeting with Manafort? Can you imagine me badgering him on why he reported on that as true when anybody with a fucking brain knows that it's not? Can you imagine me going after him? Or anybody. Can you imagine Nico House going after him? Nico would cream the fucking floor with him. But you know what? Cenk wouldn't bother Cenk. He wouldn't. He'd probably say, yeah, why not? Like I say, he doesn't mind his willingness to be made an absolute fool of and flush his fucking reputation down the toilet. His willingness to do that is probably one of his best qualities. Especially if you've got $20 million and you're the Democratic kingmaker and you've got some money to invest. Yeah, I've just got down to it. Right, sorry. Adingo ate me baby says Cenk has driven TYT into a Russiagate ditch and won't put down the shovel. He just won't stop. He won't even say, okay, all right, we agree to disagree, and then just move on and start doing all the other stuff that he's good on. You know, the police brutality for instance, they're really good at highlighting that. Highlight that. The immigration stuff. Highlight that. But highlight the policies. But they just keep going after him on Trump, and he just will not. Something's really strange with this Russiagate stuff, with Maddow, with The Guardian, with all of these outlets. Something's really strange. I heard it said that the only way The Guardian editor would be somebody who works at The Guardian. I forgot who it was now. Somebody who works at The Guardian. I forgot who it was. one of the journalists that were lost in were gone in the purge after the Snowden files. They were saying, I think it was them anyway, they were saying how the only way that article, the Manafort meeting with Assange in Ecuador, the bullshit article that Luke Harding and Dan Collins wrote, the only way that the Guardian editor would be okay in them putting that in the newspaper would be if they got an assurance, a cast iron assurance and evidence from GCHQ, from their source, which is obviously, you know, the Secret Service of the United Kingdom. It's pretty much GCHQ's mouthpiece. But they said the only way that they would publish that is if they got a cast iron assurance from the intelligence services saying this really did happen. Has it happened over there as well in America? You know? And if not, I mean, I think Guardian's basically CIA, GCI, the equivalent of CIA's mouthpiece over there. What's happening? That's what's happening with TYT. You know, I made fun of Sybil Edmonds' statement when I found out that she was saying that Sybil Edmonds is one of these whistleblowers from who went on to set up a news organisation, Newsbud, I think it was. And she was saying that TYT was FBI and CIA, informant or something like that, she was saying. I made fun of it. People said, it doesn't sound so preposterous now. I'm not a conspiracy theorist and I'm not saying that true, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't sound so preposterous when you actually look at his preposterous reporting on certain things over the last few years. Bluebells 51 says, she doesn't say at all. Bluebell 51 says, I find it astounding that the only war criminal the US has ever prosecuted gets a pardon from Trump. I know. It's just disgusting, isn't it? Somebody go and check. Has Cenk done a video about that? Or did he miss that? Oh, she just skipped massively on me. Sorry. Mind you, I've been going nearly an hour, guys, and I've done about 5 videos today, so I'm gonna end this in a bit. And I bet Maddow is an FBI informant, says Pam Ryan. Well, one thing's for, I like Rachel Maddow. She's a good actor. Killer Fung Hole says, as CIA's chief William Casey once said, we know we've done our job when everything the country believes is false. Yeah, it's paraphrased, but absolutely, that's the gist of it. We will know our disinformation campaign is complete when everything the United States public believes is false, was the full statement. What's this 20 million stuff? Says Jarifi Orn in, I think it was mid 2017, late 2018. Cenk Uygur and TYT took a $20 million investment from an organisation fronted by a guy called Jeffrey Katzenberg. It was a $20 million investment from a load of organisations that he fronted. Jeffrey Katzenberg is known as the Democratic Kingmaker. He's done fundraisers for Obama and Hillary Clinton. Read into that what you will, because his reporting on since has been absolutely terrible. That's without all the other things, you know. That's without the throwing Jordan Chariton under the bus. Yeah. Cenk is only using his lizard brain. Maddow would be proud, says Eric L. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe he's not. Yeah, nobody's that stupid. Nobody in the media is that stupid unless, you know, Cenk does not surround himself with people like Barry Weiss does. Okay, Barry Weiss. If Barry Weiss was saying that, yeah, okay, fine. I totally believe that she believes that, because that's the people that she surrounds herself with, and she hasn't got a fucking clue what she's talking about. That's why she's at the New York Times. Barry Weiss at the New York Times. Fucking hell. Barry Weiss is at the New York Times and I can't pay my fucking rent. Oh, dear. But anyway, she surrounds herself with people like that. She doesn't know any different. Cenk has people, friends, close to him, who have been telling him this is bullshit. He has people on his own network that say what he's saying is bullshit. He has people on his own network that are saying stop. I saw one video of Carla Klinsky when he was like, stop, please, stop, for crying out loud. And he's doing this again. Is Carl going to piss off now from the TYT network in protest at this? I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Because honestly, as Caitlin Johnson said, keep at arm's length. That guy is fucking toxic. Do not be associated with him because he's going down a drain. He's spiraling. Don't let him take you with you. Captain Obvious again says Cenk's main people's evidence of these Putin puppet theory is that Trump didn't want to sign sanctions. I don't know. Trump didn't want to sign sanctions because Obama had already put sanctions on. He didn't say that. But Cenk ignores the sanctioning Russia for meddling would be a tacit admission of. Yeah, it'd be an admission as well. It's just. He was always attacking him from the right. Everything he was doing, he was attacking him from the conservative point of view, from the pro-war stance. Don't attack somebody from a pro-war point of view. Because if you do that, you're going to push him, into a Cold War. What's fucking happened? Trump, bless him, I say bless him, he's a horrible man, but he doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on. He really doesn't. Anybody out there saying, no, he's playing three-dimensional, he doesn't have a clue what's going on. He's a criminal. He's a con man. And he's in over his head. Are they still pro-Bernie, says Driffion? Well, they're certainly not pro-Tulsi. This was the other thing. I mean, this is what I say. Anna and... They're flipping as to who plays the fool. What's the one thing the establishment narrative have got in common? What's the one thing the media have got in common? MSNBC, TYT, Washington Post, Vox, all these establishment artists. What's the one thing they have all got in common with the presidential candidates at the moment? Oh, yeah, that's right. None of them are giving Tulsi Gabbard any coverage. And when they are, they're fucking attacking her. They're attacking her, and she's the most pro-peace candidate there is. The candidate with the best policy. The candidate that I said, you know what, I want her as president in 2020. At the beginning of 2017, before Trump was inaugurated, I said I want her as the next one. Because of her foreign policy, because she's so anti-war. Or anti-interventionist war, as she says. And then Anna said that Tulsi Gabbard is not progressive. Not progressive. Cenk telling you that Trump has flipped on Venezuela. Hasn't flipped on Venezuela at all. That's fucking gaslighting. Right to your face and then charging you for it. That's lying right to your face and charging you for it. I could never, ever do that to you. I could never, ever take money from you and then lie to your face. Ever. And that's what they're doing. I don't believe that he can be that stupid. And I don't believe that he can be that arrogant and that stubborn. I don't believe anybody can. Look at the fucking facts. Just look at the facts. But now we'll say black is white and just move on. And you know what? The gloves are off. You know, I said I've attacked them all now. I've attacked James O'Brien for what he's done. I've attacked these establishment people. That's it. I'm going after them. You know, if you're independent and you're wrong, I don't give a shit. I really don't. At least you're independent and you're doing what you think is right, and I don't care. But I tell you, if you're establishment, you need to attack them. I'm saying it to all independent media as well. Attack them. The best way to combat speech or bad speech or fake news is with the truth. The problem we've got, and this is why it's dangerous. Let's show it you, because we're going to do a video about this. But I might as well, you know, because I know that there's going to be a lot of people who watch this video at length, just because they'll be interested in it. But there's something I want to show you. This is from Hacker News. This is a thread on Hacker News. It's about the spread of true and false news online. I forgot who sent this to me. Thank you, whoever it was. I do read lots of emails. I don't get time to reply to all of them. I'm sorry, but I do read them all. Look at this. It took the truth about 6 times as long as a falsehood to reach 1,500 people, and 20 times as long to reach a cascade depth of 10. I think I mean by cascade depth of 10, I mean like 10 people on. As the truth never diffused beyond the depth of 10, we saw that falsehood reached a depth of 19, nearly 10 times faster than the truth reached the depth of 10. So you can see there, that's exponentially, that's massive. Actually, how much fake news travels and how the truth just never catches up with it. And it goes on. It actually goes on to there's a nice little quote that somebody talks about in this thread. I'm going to do a video about this. Where's that quote I saw? Something about the person who came up with there you go, falsehood flies and the truth comes limping after it. Jonathan Swift, 1710. That's actually where the saying comes from originally. That's as far back. It is actually, there are some instances of something similar being said actually before that. So it's a very old saying. But Terry Pratchett from 2000, I like and run around the world before the truth has got his boots on. That's something else that people evoke. And it's because of this. This is why The Guardian put out that article with Manafort meeting Assange in the Ecuadorian embassy, even though, you know, anybody with a brain can see, listen, that can't have happened. It can't have happened. But that obviously flew around the world. Every news agency out there quoted it. The truth about the article and the truth about it being obviously attacked and smeared and attacked and, you know, picked apart by anybody with a brain. The truth about it being absolutely false. The truth about them heavily changing it afterwards in several edits afterwards, because I mean they were already editing it a few minutes after, saying sources say at the end of even the title changed. It was that misleading. That didn't reach people. I'm sure there were people out there right now who, yeah, he met Manafort in the embassy. Because that's what it's designed to do. That's what propaganda does. It spreads so fast. This is the sort of thing that Cenk Uygur is now a part of. He's now a part of the fake news machine, of the fake news establishment machine. And like I say, this is why now I feel okay doing videos attacking him. Because you know what? I think it's a public service. He's dangerous. He's not to be trusted. He's establishment. He's not a YouTuber. He's an establishment journalist. It's okay, Bluebell 51, I feel you. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to get off. Yeah, I'm going to get off, guys. And ladies, sorry. Thanks very much. Oh, look at my little dog's face. Hello. Thanks very much, everyone. Thanks very much for all your support. I really do need your support. It's I know things are really difficult. If you can, please, $1, $2 a month, whatever you can. It's tough, and I want to stop the advertising on YouTube as well. I don't actually get much from it, but every bit at the moment helps, and you know, I need it. But I even want to get to the stage where I just want to get away from the advertising on YouTube. Because I've seen, you know, most of the time when I'm at my girlfriend's and she's watching, because she actually watches my videos, she'll put something on TV or put it on something on the TV of Jamal Thomas or Nico House or something like that. And I'm listening to the adverts coming on. They're all pro-Israel stuff, all about going on holiday to Israel. You know, on stories about Palestine. You know, I don't want that shit on my... So I'd rather move away from it, and that's what I intend to do. But I don't want to go beyond a paywall. I really don't, and I certainly don't want to quit. I'm not going to do that. But we do. We need your help. Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks for your support, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Take care. Be strong. Please write to Julian Assange if you haven't. Details at writejulian.com. And yeah, support the Fourth Estate, support independent media. I honestly do believe the fight of humanity rests on the shoulders of people like me, which is fucking horrific. Kiss. Good night, everyone. Peace. Take care. Love you all.